hell? Hello YouTubers, welcome to Scribes, yet another episode of My Name is Luke Peverell. This is...
Hello, I'm Jack.
He's excited. He's that excited.
I'm just sitting here. Hello YouTubers.
What's up Screen Squad? Welcome to yet another episode of the Screen Scribes. Is there a "the" in that?
Yes.
There is.
Go
Good.
again.
Damn it. What's up Screen Squad? Welcome to yet another episode of the Screen Scribes. I'm Luke.
I'm Jack.
He's Jack. And today we are reviewing A Quiet Place.
The story of A Quiet Place is one that blends the themes of family and tragedy, while at the same time being a straight-up kick-ass monster movie. The film follows the family of a little girl, Regan, a congenitally deaf person growing up in a world that no longer says a word. In this stark, uncaring, silent world, her family home is littered with safeguards to lessen noise, and to prepare themselves from the threat of supernaturally fast monsters that have incredible hearing and insatiable bloodlust.
So, first thing we need to understand about this movie is that I went in with a completely different expectation from what the trailers were giving me. I had absolutely no idea what to expect, and I went in pretty much blind.
Me too. I'd seen a poster for it. That was about as much, and I think on the poster there's a claw mark. So I'm like, okay, it's probably gonna be some kind of supernatural element to the horror here.
Sure.
So I went to cinema and by myself, and yeah, and yeah,
Violent.
and I saw it. So we have both seen it. Indeed, we have.
We have seen the movie.
This movie.
That's what we're reviewing. Thank you for that update. Just in case you were curious.
Okay, what do you want to take it from?
Now, in case you couldn't tell from the title, sound is a very important part of this movie. And if we're the first review that you can see about this film, it is seriously fundamental to the entire proceedings. It informs everything else. And I cannot think of a film that has created such a tension with this one technique before.
Like, just everything, like, it becomes more apparent as the film goes on, but like, everything is just so much more significant than it would otherwise be, because everything is so dead quiet. And as we'll talk about, this ramps up the tension significantly, because...
That could have been another title.
Well,
Dead quiet.
if you run, you'll end up dead tired. I just felt that the film was quite mysterious in the way it presented itself. Like, if the title is fair, like A Quiet Place, you might infer from that okay, sound is going to be a thing, because it's an almost pun, I suppose.
You never know with these things though, like, you know, John Cage, like for 4 minutes of silence, you think, oh, that's going to be interesting now.
Yeah.
It's just musicians taking the cake. What it actually reminded me of the most was a Stephen King adaptation movie called The Mist. Have you seen that film before?
Yes, big fan of The Mist. If you haven't seen it, check it out.
Absolutely fantastic film. If you liked A Quiet Place, you will absolutely dig the crap out of The Mist.
Stephen King has endorsed it, so it's not one of those movie adaptations.
Films, yeah.
It's got his seal of approval. I'd also like to mention that after the first scene concludes, the film cuts to a year later, and not to go into spoiler territory, but given the events of that first scene, to see the family in the film have to deal with it and just
deal with the general repercussions.
Yes, yeah, and the camera, I might add, lovingly inspects how each person, each character is dealing with it in their own way. The melding of a horror movie with what feels like a family drama was used to great effect here, and in particular, like these themes of being a parent, what it means to be a parent, the fact you're supposed to be the protector, the provider, really shows up a lot, and particularly, obviously, in the interactions between John Krasinski and Emily Blunt's characters. I want to give a big old shout out to Millicent Simmons, who plays the daughter Regan. Regan in the film is congenitally deaf. Honestly, the actress plays it so well. Like, for some, obviously she can't speak, so she has to convey a hell of a lot through facial expressions and body language, and the relationship between her and her father and her brother is just incredible stuff, considering the lack of dialogue. They have to get it all across in a much more visceral way. and I believed every single second of it. So big props to you, Millicent. Keep it up. I can't wait to see you in other stuff.
Yeah, with the whole family, it was really prevalent how well they prepared with their use of ALS, which we neglected to mention.
Yeah.
They actually use American Sign ALS, American Language.
Hey baby, ASL baby.
You want a lion sandwich? Okay, right. Sounds like a drug reference. ASL, American Sign Language, is what they used, and to great effect. And yes, it was a great choice for minorities in general, but in retrospect, it's the only real thing that makes sense. She is
absolutely
one of, if not the biggest, then a very big part of how this movie works. And I think if you didn't have someone who lived in that world of being deaf and knew how to communicate through sign language, maybe the tension wouldn't quite be the same. I don't know, but I think it's just one of those things that just helped the characters get more in, because you have to communicate with this girl via sign language. There is no in between. So therefore, unintentionally, you're being kind of method. I dig that.
We should probably mention it was John Krasinski's intention to cast an actual actress that was deaf. He wanted to benefit from the knowledge and insight that she would bring to it. So good on you, John.
Proficient in the language, whole bunch of benefits.
And behaviours, you know, someone who's had the lived experience, a deaf person.
Speaking of John Krasinski, something I didn't realise because I'm an idiot is he directed and acted in the damn thing.
Yes.
I'm like, same name, wow. Because being a director would have been enough, right? I would have been like, next John Carpenter, more tense horror about people. I miss this stuff.
Yes, actually, I want to echo that sentiment, because if you can find the humanity in the horror, I mean, not all horror movies are like that, obviously, but if you can find the
best ones are.
Yes.
Don't care what you think.
Yeah.
Fight me, internet.
Like, in terms of A Quiet Place, like the themes of family and sticking together and what we would do to, what we would give and sacrifice to help our loved ones is eminently relatable to just about everyone. So, yeah, I think they could have easily gone a different way with this. They could have made it all about the big scary monsters, but they didn't. They approached it from a human perspective first.
Which is something we should talk about. As far as the monsters go, it is one of those things that I had the biggest issue with. I know you did as well. I am of a alien persuasion, which is to say, don't show me your monster until you absolutely have to. I think they possibly may have played their hand a little bit too early. However, I do not necessarily... Rain's fucking with us in the background. Through reasons you'll find out when you watch it, it was necessary to really understand the monster. However, it's not necessarily conducive to the tense atmosphere they had been building up to this point.
There's this trope, the website tvtropes.org is your friend. Now this is generally applicable to the movie at large. The trope of nothing is scarier. The mere possibility of a threat is far scarier than when it is realized. So the idea that it could be just about anything is much scarier than what we end up seeing, which was some kind of big Cthulhu lobster looking thing.
Hipster Cthulhu.
Another thing that I should probably mention, and I think you'll, people who see it, you'll see a lot of this backdraft on the internet. The overriding issue, I suppose, a lot of people have with it is the idea that you must be quiet at all times. But this obviously comes with a lot of caveats and what ifs. And the film doesn't really go into that. It's just, you drop a glass, you knock something over, like obviously but stuff like bodily issues. That's, we're veering into some shit here. Literally.
John died of a bean burrito. He did his best. But
if this universe was to be expanded into a graphic novel or even more movies, I believe they are planning a sequel, perhaps we could get to know a bit more about that. But as it stands, basically the movie basically just says to us, sound bad, no exceptions, but some exceptions, but we're not going to tell you which ones.
Which is the way it should be. I don't mean to counteract your point, but what a bunch of fun ruiners.
Yeah.
Good lord.
I will say this.
How much do you want to shit on your cornflakes? Like, oh my god.
I will say this. All of what I've just mentioned, none of that was going through my head when I saw this film.
Yeah.
I wasn't thinking, oh, why that, but not that.
That's like saying with like Star Wars Force stuff, like why can't he do lightning and not this? Like just go with it. Shall we wrap it up?
Just like to remind everyone, as you saw at the start of this episode, try not to eat in the cinema.
That was a very long pause.
I had to think about the words. Yeah, try not to eat in the cinema. The reasons should be obvious. It's up to you, of course, but take it from someone who knows. Every popcorn kernel is a curse.
It is one of the more awkward social dance movies I've ever had. Because you don't realize until you watch this movie how much you're waiting for the noise, just so you can go and be a disgusting pig in the dark.
So maybe not first day material this movie.
Oh mate.
Or it could be. You know, it's up to you.
I mean, how loudly? Lots of squelching. And that's just making it. So good gravy. Right on the mic. Right. Shall we wrap it up?
Yes. My final thoughts. For someone who is not a huge fan of horror, I get scared very easily. A Quiet Place, for a 90-minute film, did so much, so well. I left it feeling genuinely emotional. So this is a great movie to see. I recommend it to everyone. Even those of you who have sworn off horror, please go see it. You will not regret it. It is a great use of your time.
Mm-hmm. And I think you're right in that this is what I would recommend to people who don't know where to start with the horror genre. This is a great infection vector. This is what I would pop in front of someone who doesn't necessarily want to watch something too old, to kind of see what the horror genre is about and why people might want to spend 2 hours giving themselves the jolts. It is a cathartic experience. The drama is top notch.
Yes.
The acting is solid. Krasinski manages to direct and act out of the park. The monsters, while being revealed too early, are definitely interesting. I'm worried about what they're going to do for a sequel, because all they can do, as far as I'm concerned, is, ironically, aliens, make them bigger. But we'll worry about that when we get there. It's definitely worth your time. I think it is improved by the 90-minute score time, and this is not a film that wants to waste your time. I'm giving it 4.5 out of 5 stars.
I would have to give it 4.5 out of 5 stars too.
Bing, bing, bing.
I'm knocking off a half, but no, I'll tell them that.
Hey guys, thank you so much for watching. We're not sure if this movie will still be in cinemas by the time that this video comes out, because Australia's a little bit crap like that. Also, because we are paying this out of our own pocket. If you do want to support us, the best way to do that is by following us here on YouTube, subscribing, hitting that like button. We've also got a Twitter and Instagram. We hope you are enjoying your day. Thank you so much for spending some time with us, and we'll see you next time. Bye!
See ya.